What if I told you that giving up one simple food could help you lose 30 pounds in under 2 months? Well, that's exactly what happened to Christopher Schwarzenegger, Arnold's son, and the internet is absolutely losing its mind over his dramatic transformation. But here's the thing that nobody's talking about. This story goes way deeper than just dropping bread, and what really happened might shock you. Picture this. You're the son of one of the most physically iconic men in Hollywood. History. Your father is literally known as the Terminator, Mr. Olympia 7 times over, and here you are struggling with your weight in the public eye. That's the reality Christopher Schwarzenegger has been living with for years, until something clicked that changed everything. At 27 years old, Christopher just walked the red carpet for his father's FUBAR Season 2 premiere, and let me tell you, the transformation is absolutely mind-blowing. Standing next to his siblings Catherine, Christina, and Patrick, Christopher looked like a completely different person. But this journey didn't start at a Hollywood premiere. It started in the most unexpected place you could imagine. Back in 2019, Christopher was living it up in Australia, planning this epic adventure trip. He had all these grand plans, all these activities he wanted to do. But then reality hit him like a freight train. His weight was literally stopping him from living his life. Imagine being in one of the most beautiful countries in the world, surrounded by incredible experiences, and feeling trapped in your own body. That's the moment everything changed for Christopher. Now here's where the story gets really interesting, because Christopher didn't just wake up one day and decide to transform his life. He's been battling weight issues since high school, trying everything you can imagine. Every diet, every workout plan, every quick fix that promised results. Sound familiar? Most of us have been there, right? The endless cycle of trying and failing again. But then came the game changer that nobody saw coming. It wasn't some expensive personal trainer or revolutionary diet plan. It wasn't even a dramatic lifestyle overhaul. It was Lent. Yes, you heard that right. A Christian religious observance became the catalyst for one of the most talked about transformations in Hollywood. Christopher made a simple decision. He was going to give up bread for Lent. Now, you might be thinking, that's it? Just bread? But here's what makes this story so powerful. Christopher didn't just see this as a diet, he saw it as a commitment he couldn't break. As he put it, he's a good Catholic boy, and breaking Lent wasn't an option. That mental shift, that non-negotiable commitment, that's where the magic happened. 30 pounds in less than 2 months. Let that sink in. While most people are struggling to lose 5 pounds, Christopher dropped 30 by making one simple change. But here's where the internet detectives started getting suspicious. And honestly, their theories are wild. The comment sections exploded with people calling out what they saw as the real story. Some supporters were cheering him on, saying things like, "Good for you, dude. It's so difficult to take weight off. You need to be proud of yourself." Others were sharing their own struggles and celebrating his success. But then came the skeptics, and they weren't holding back. One person wrote, "If he lost 30 pounds by dropping bread, I don't believe for a second that he tried everything. If bread did that for you, dropping soda and exercise would have done much more." Another comment that really caught attention said, "These people will do anything except admit they're on Ozempic. You don't lose 30 pounds in a month from giving up bread." And that's when things got really interesting, because this touches on something huge happening in Hollywood right now. The Ozempic conversation is everywhere. Celebrities are transforming their bodies seemingly overnight, and everyone's wondering what's really behind these dramatic changes. Is it really just willpower and bread elimination, or is there more to the story? But here's what makes Christopher's situation unique, and this is something his father Arnold revealed that adds a whole new dimension to this story. In a birthday post for Christopher, Arnold listed out his son's incredible workout routine. Boxing classes, weightlifting classes, stretching classes, cycling classes, and the list goes on. Arnold literally said he couldn't keep up with his own son's exercise routine. So this wasn't just about giving up bread. Christopher was putting in serious work behind the scenes. This brings us to a crucial point that gets lost in all the speculation and debate. Whether Christopher used additional help or not, whether it was purely bread elimination or a combination of factors, the real story here is about transformation and commitment. And that's something we can all learn from, regardless of the methods. Think about Christopher's mindset during Lent. He didn't just say, "I'll try to avoid bread." He made it non-negotiable. He tied it to something bigger than himself, something that had real meaning and consequences if he broke it. That's the psychology of successful change right there, and it's something most people never tap into. But there's another layer to this story that makes it even more compelling, and it involves family dynamics that most people don't know about. Christopher is one of Arnold's 4 children with Maria Shriver, and their family story is complicated. Arnold and Maria divorced in 2021 after 35 years of marriage, following revelations about Arnold's 5th child, Joseph Bina, with their longtime housekeeper. At the FUBAR premiere, there was this interesting dynamic where social media users noticed that Joseph, Arnold's other son, didn't take pictures with Christopher and his siblings. Arnold was photographed with Maria's kids separately from Joseph. This family complexity adds another dimension to Christopher's journey, navigating personal transformation while dealing with complicated family dynamics in the public eye. What's fascinating is how Christopher has handled all of this. Instead of getting defensive about the speculation or trying to prove his methods to internet critics, he's remained focused on his health journey. At the Beecher Vitality Happy and Healthy Summit, he opened up about his experience, sharing the real struggles and the trial and error process that led to his success. This authenticity is what sets Christopher apart from many celebrity transformation stories. He's not claiming it was easy or overnight. He's not selling a miracle solution. He's simply sharing what worked for him, acknowledging the years of struggle that came before, and being honest about the process. And that brings us to the bigger picture here. In a world where social media is full of before and after photos promising instant results, where celebrity transformations often come with whispered rumors about shortcuts and procedures, Christopher's story represents something different. Whether his transformation involved just bread elimination or additional factors, the key lesson is about finding what works for you and committing to it completely. The internet debate about his methods misses the point entirely. Some people, responding to the criticism, said it best. He looks healthy. Whatever it took to get there is nobody's business. That supporter understood something crucial. The goal isn't to judge the method, it's to celebrate the result and the positive impact on someone's health and well-being. Christopher's transformation also highlights something important about weight loss that often gets overlooked. He mentioned that his weight was prohibiting him from doing everyday activities during his Australia trip. This wasn't about looking good for photos or fitting into certain clothes. This was about being able to live his life fully. That's the kind of motivation that creates lasting change. Looking at Christopher now, standing confidently on red carpets, active in his extensive workout routine that impresses even Arnold Schwarzenegger, there's a clear transformation that goes beyond just physical appearance. There's a confidence, a vitality, and a commitment to health that's inspiring regardless of how he achieved it. The lesson here isn't necessarily that everyone should give up bread for Lent, though that might work for some people. The lesson is about finding your non-negotiable commitment, your line in the sand that you won't cross. For Christopher, it was his faith-based commitment during Lent. For you, it might be something completely different. Maybe it's a promise to your kids, a commitment to your health for an important life event, or a personal challenge that means something deep to you. The specific method matters less than the mental framework of making it non-negotiable. Christopher Schwarzenegger's transformation story reminds us that change is possible, that sometimes the simplest commitments can lead to the most dramatic results, and that in a world full of complicated solutions, sometimes the answer is surprisingly straightforward. Whether he gave up bread and magic happened, or whether there were additional factors at play, the real magic was in his decision to commit completely to his health and stick with it no matter what. So the next time you're scrolling through transformation, photos wondering what's really behind the change, remember Christopher's story. Remember that lasting transformation comes from commitment, consistency, and finding what works for your unique situation. And most importantly, remember that your journey doesn't have to look like anyone else's to be successful and meaningful.